If you think authority always looks powerful, this story is about to change your mind. So stick around, because you won't want to miss this. Picture this: a military base, late afternoon. The sun is glinting off the steel barriers of the main security gate. It's a scene you've probably imagined or seen in movies: armed guards, their uniforms crisp, scanning IDs, waving vehicles through. It's all very routine. They're joking with each other, passing the time, just another day at the office for them. Everything is calm, predictable. And then she arrives. A plain, black sedan pulls up, nothing special about it. The door opens, and a woman steps out. She's dressed simply, in civilian clothes. No visible insignia, no escort, no entourage, just her, a small bag in her hand, walking calmly toward the gate scanner. One of the guards, let's call him Miller, watches her approach. He's young, a bit cocky, and he smirks. "Ma'am, this isn't the visitor center," he calls out, loud enough for his buddies to hear. He's putting on a little show. She doesn't say a word. She just hands him her ID. Miller takes it, still with that little smirk, and scans it. The screen on his device flashes green. Normal access. But wait, her name doesn't pop up. He frowns. That's odd. He scans it again. Same result. Green light, but no data. He lets out a short, condescending laugh. "Looks like you're not in the system." "Happens all the time," he says, trying to sound helpful, but really just being dismissive. The other guards chuckle along. One of them leans back in his chair and says, "Probably lost. Or maybe just trying her luck." Through all of this, the woman just stands there, perfectly still, her eyes steady, her posture relaxed. There's no sign of frustration, no anger. Just a quiet confidence that seems to float around her. "I need access," she says, her voice calm and even. It doesn't carry a hint of a plea. It's a statement of fact. But Miller isn't impressed. He shakes his head, enjoying his moment of power. Access is earned, not asked for, he lectures her. The other guards are loving this. The laughter gets a little louder. Someone behind the gate mutters, "She doesn't even look important." It's that classic mistake, right? Judging a book by its cover. Miller hands the ID back to her. "You'll have to leave," but she doesn't move. She doesn't take the ID, she just looks at him. "I'm authorized," she repeats, with the same unshakable calm. Her stillness is starting to annoy him. His little power trip is being interrupted by her refusal to be intimidated. "You're holding up the line," he snaps, his voice getting sharper. "This is your last warning." By now, a small crowd has started to form. A few soldiers who were walking by have stopped to watch. You know how it is. The moment someone pulls out a phone to record, things get real. And a couple of phones are definitely out. This little drama at the gate is turning into entertainment. Miller, feeling the pressure of the audience, decides to go for one final, mocking gesture. He grabs her ID and scans it one more time, with an exaggerated flourish, as if to say, "See? Nothing." But this time, something is different. The scanner doesn't flash green. It flashes a deep, pulsing red, and with it comes a sound. Not a simple beep. It's a sharp, jarring, alarming tone that cuts through the afternoon air. And just like that, the laughter stops. Dead silence. Miller freezes. His hand is still holding the scanner. His eyes are wide. Red doesn't mean denial. It doesn't mean error. Red means restricted. Top-level eyes only. The kind of clearance you only read about in training manuals. His condescending smile melts off his face. It's replaced by a look of pure, dawning horror. What did you do?" he stammers, his voice suddenly tense, shaking. The woman says nothing. She just watches him. On the screen of the scanner, data begins to load. Lines of text scroll past, faster than he can possibly read. Clearance levels, designations, project names he's never even heard of, stacking one on top of the other, each one higher than the last. The guard's face turns pale. He takes a slow step back, as if the scanner itself might bite him. "Sir," he calls out to his supervisor, his voice cracking. We need the supervisor." Now, the other guards, the ones who were laughing just moments ago, are on their feet, standing ramrod straight. The playful atmosphere is gone, replaced by a thick, heavy tension. The supervisor comes rushing over, annoyed at first. "What is it now, Miller? Can't you handle one civilian?" he grumbles. Then Miller just points a trembling finger at the screen. The supervisor leans in, his brow furrowed with irritation. He looks at the screen, and his expression changes. Instantly, the annoyance vanishes. He stands bolt upright, his back rigid, and snaps to a perfect salute. The sound of his heels clicking together echoes in the sudden quiet. "Yes, ma'am," he says, his voice crisp and respectful. Everyone goes silent. The soldiers watching, the other guards, even the birds, seem to stop chirping. The entire world at that gate has just tilted on its axis. The woman finally looks away from the now terrified Miller and meets the supervisor's gaze. "I assume the gate is clear now," she says, her voice still perfectly calm. "Yes, ma'am," the supervisor repeats, not missing a beat. "Immediately, ma'am." He practically shouts the order to raise the barrier. The steel arm lifts smoothly, opening the way. The guards, who were laughing moments ago, stare in utter disbelief, their mouths hanging open. The woman starts to walk forward through the now open gate, but then she stops. She turns back, and her eyes find the group of guards. She looks directly at Miller. "Next time," she says, her voice even and measured, but carrying the weight of a freight train. "Don't mistake quiet for weakness." Then she turns and walks through the gate, disappearing onto the base without a backward glance. Later that evening, the story spread like wildfire. Whispers in the mess hall, rumors in the barracks. It turns out, the woman wasn't just some high-ranking official. She was the person in charge of a surprise base-wide security audit. She was there to test the system, to find its weaknesses. The scanner flashed red because her clearance level was so high, it was above what the standard system was even programmed to display to a gate guard. It was an alert, not for her, but about her, and the guard, Miller, the one with the smirk and the power trip. He was reassigned to a post in the most remote, boring part of the base you could imagine. A place where he'd have plenty of time to think about his actions. And new training protocols were rolled out across the entire installation the very next day. The main lesson: respect. It was reinforced, underlined, and bolded. If that moment in the story gave you chills, you're in the right place. Because it's a powerful reminder. True power doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need to be flashy or loud. Sometimes, the most powerful person in the room is the one who says the least. They just wait to be recognized. If you believe that respect should always come before judgment, go ahead and hit that like button. And make sure you subscribe for more stories where arrogance gets a serious reality check. We've all seen it happen, and let's be honest, it's satisfying to watch. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, if you were one of the other guards at that gate, what would you have done in that moment? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.